Welcome back to the channel, guys. Owner Arna is here, back at you again. And today we're going to talk about why high-level entrepreneurs come to Medellin, Colombia, okay? And I've been here for around 5 days and I met a bunch of people, and I can already tell you why, which we're going to go through in this video. A bit of a background, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for 4 years. Running a media brand, and now I do coaching as well, teaching people how to do exactly what I did. And I love traveling. I've been to 27 countries now, and I can clearly see advantages of Medellin, Colombia, especially if you're a high-level entrepreneur. I mean, let's say if you're making at least $10,000 a month or more. I mean, I met guys here doing 7 figures a month, close to 8 figures a year. So it's absolutely an incredible spot. So reason number one, like I already mentioned, I met a lot of entrepreneurs here. So the networking aspect is incredible. Okay, I'm in a mastermind here, kind of like less of a mastermind and more of like a global network with a bunch of pre-vetted entrepreneurs, which I joined the network probably around a month ago. I met a bunch of cool dudes, okay? Like, I'm from Lithuania, by the way. There's this guy named Lais from Lithuania as well, who runs like the biggest run club in Medellin. It's called the Medellin Run Club. And like, entrepreneurs make a great impact here, especially gringo entrepreneurs. And I'll tell you what, like, when you think of Medellin and you just go on YouTube, you type in Medellin, Colombia, all you're gonna see is like girls, like substances, party, bad stuff, crime, robbery, not safe, like don't come here, or like come here but just to do bad stuff. But I literally, like, there are billionaires living here, like expat billionaires living here in Medellin, Colombia. So there are plenty of high-level individuals here, high-level entrepreneurs, very smart people here, and not only people who just come here to party, go wild, and then leave back home for, after a week. Another reason is Medellin has a really good time zone. It's in Eastern time zone, right? Same time zone as New York, Miami, which, like, if you're running an online business, cool, you can work from anywhere, anytime, blah, blah, blah. But if you have any clients or any work, it just like makes it so much easier to be on Eastern time. Like, it's 10 times easier, because like I've traveled to, places like Bali, and I've met people who work US hours in Bali, and they literally start their work at 9 p.m., finish their work at like 9 a.m., and then the whole day they sleep. Like, you don't really experience the life, right? But here in Medellin, like, it's just Eastern time zone. So you can just wake up earlier in the morning, head to the gym, eat healthy food, and start work, clock out at whatever, 6, 7, 8 p.m., and just go out, enjoy, what the city has to offer, which is absolutely amazing. So good time zone is the second reason. The third reason I'd say is you can outsource pretty much everything. And, I lived in Dubai. I've been to many places. Like, yes, you can outsource a lot of stuff in different places as well, but at a way, way, way higher cost, okay? So like, can you get a massage in Dubai? Like, just call a masseuse, they come to your home, you get a massage. Yes, but it's gonna cost you like $150, Here it's gonna cost you like $30. So like, it's 5 times less, right? So you can live a really high quality life and outsource every single piece of like admin tasks and just focus on work, right? So good for work, EST time zone, right? And you can outsource everything. You can order anything, right? Like, you can get a cleaner, you can get a chef, you can get an assistant here. It's gonna probably be like $400 a month, like $100 a week, help you with everything. Like, my guy who I'm living with here, like, he downstairs now is, like, he called out a Spanish tutor, and downstairs he's like learning Spanish, and he just called his assistant. He was like, find me a teacher who's gonna come to my place and like just teach me in person. And like, you can pretty much outsource every single admin task and you can put your mental energy to your business and growing your business and doing more revenue, and actually doing what moves the needle, right? You just pretty much make your life optimized for business. Another thing is like good apartments with amazing amenities. So like a lot of cities have that, but at the same time, like a lot of cities don't, right? I mean, you can see a bit of a view here. It's absolutely amazing here. This apartment is like such high class. You have 24/7 security guards downstairs who are like very friendly. The type of class here is insane. Like this is a huge wraparound apartment, okay? Which like you have one floor for one apartment. So like apartments here, if you have the money, you can get incredible apartments, live in an amazing place. And I mean, if it's like one bedroom, like if you want a one bedroom apartment in the best area, it's gonna be like $1,500. I mean, this is a 3-bedroom apartment in like one of the best areas in Medellin. Yes, it's like almost 5K a month, but then it's like 3 bedrooms, right? So if you split it with whatever friends, it will be like 1.6K each. You're good. Like you're living like a king here. And the apartment quality and everything else, the Wi-Fi is just, you don't even think about it. It's just there, it works. You don't need to worry about it. It's amazing. It's safe. Like if you ever heard of like bad stuff about Medellin, like, oh, this guy got, you know, scalped and got robbed. Like in an apartment like that, it wouldn't happen because you have like really smart security guards 24/7, like guarding the gate and then guarding the elevator. Like if anyone new comes in, they need to submit their ID right there and then. And as they leave, they need to submit their ID again. Like it's extremely safe if you live in a good apartment here. In general, you have like amazing services, right? So if you have the money, you know, to spend, like I hear a lot of, like I'm on Twitter, right? And a lot of guys are like, oh, like Latin America has terrible services. Well, it has terrible services if you go to the cheapest places. Obviously, they don't care about providing you good customer service. They're just gonna rip you off. But if you go to a higher standard place, like they understand how business works and they'll provide you the best service ever. You go to the gym, gyms are amazing. You go anywhere, like you can call in an IV clinic here at your home. Like they'll just do IV therapy at home. Amazing service. You're gonna feel amazing, right? You can pretty much do anything. Like in terms of services, you can also order every single thing you would think of. So like anything you can think of. I have like over there nicotine pouches, right? Like you want nicotine pouches, cool. Just order it on Rappi. You want food? I mean, food is like Uber Eats, pretty much works everywhere around the world, but foods, groceries, like medicine, services. You can order cash at home. Like I needed cash. Instead of going to a bank, to an ATM, try to do that. You just order it. They bring it up to your apartment. It comes in an elevator. Like it's super simple, okay? Like you don't even need to leave an apartment to get all of this stuff, right? If you live in a city where it's not optimized, like to get cash, you'll need to go to an ATM. And then you need to sit in traffic, go to an ATM. Then maybe the ATM is not working at that point. It has not enough cash or not the amount that you need. And it's just like, sucks. It drains your mental energy. You can't focus on anything. So having amazing services and you can get everything delivered, like it makes your life 10 times easier. Another thing I want to get into is amazing food, okay? So, you know, you've heard that, oh, Italy has amazing food, this, that, Peru has amazing food, this and that. Here, you can eat extremely healthy, okay? Extremely healthy. Like we have a chef who comes in every other day. He's a chef, by the way, of J Balvin and Maluma. Like he showed us pictures, he told us funny stories. And yesterday he just came in. He cooked from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, so like 11 hours. Cooked a bunch of meals, meal prepped, made like tomahawk steaks, and it's like $45 per day for a chef to come and cook for you. And the food you can get here, like for example, you want a tomahawk steak, like you can get it from the best butchers out here, and you're gonna be extremely healthy. Like I've been here for 5 days, going to the gym every day, eating healthy. Like I can already see that my body feels way better. I look better in the mirror. Like you can eat extremely clean here without a problem. You can order extremely clean and high quality food here, which is absolutely amazing. Also, like one thing to mention, I kind of mentioned it about the safety, but like whenever you see, if you just type in Colombia, Medellin, like you'll see some walk around videos on YouTube and then just like unsafe, drugs, scopamine, like stuff like that, which is like not very pleasant to hear when you're going to a country, right? But if you hang out in good areas, so like I've heard this before, I came, like everyone was saying, oh, go to El Poblado, go to Las Palmas, go to Envigado, go to these areas. And I thought, well, it's not so fun hanging out. Like I thought like, oh, El Poblado, probably like it's a cool neighborhood, but like you go to this whole huge country and you spend time in this small area. That's what I thought. And then when I came to El Poblado, like I understood that it's insanely huge area. Like the whole El Poblado, like you really have to try to like get into like a bad area just by walking around, like wandering around if you're like in the middle of El Poblado. So like keep that in mind, okay? Like if you're in good areas, it's like really safe. And when I mean really safe, like obviously you don't want to be like kind of like stupid, and you have to have some sense of awareness. You know, don't get anyone get too close to you in crowded places and all of that. But like I'm from Europe, so I think Europeans kind of grew up with that in mind. Like, oh, like you can get robbed on the street, or like I don't know, like something can happen. So like I'm aware when I'm walking around, like I'm not just on my phone. By the way, like, yes, you can pull out your phone in the middle of the street and no one's gonna snatch it, unless obviously like you're like just like this on your phone and that's it. Like you're not aware of the surroundings. I mean, I've heard a lot of people like get their phone stolen and whatever. But like if you're in a good area and you're like not just smoking a cigarette on the side of the road where like there's huge traffic, like no one's just gonna come up to you in a cafe and steal your phone here. You know, like it's not gonna happen like that. You just like petty crime like happens all over the world. Okay, so like it's actually safe. Like I walked around at night in El Poblado. I walked around in the day. Like it's cool here. Okay, like obviously, again, you have to be aware of the situation. There are some simple rules that you kind of follow in your mind. Like if something is a 10-minute walk, just get an Uber, wait for the Uber to come. It will cost you like $3. You're gonna come home safe. Like, you know, simple stuff like that. Like don't be flashy, don't wear a Rolex like in the middle of the street, like flashing everyone. Don't do that, like, but you can dress well, you can look nice, you can walk around, nothing will happen, just like be aware of your surroundings. Another thing to mention, there are some amazing events for entrepreneurs. So I mentioned I'm a part of this community / mastermind. Like it's Monday today. On Saturday, we went to a charity event basically, where like a billionaire basically raised like money for a charity for like a very nice cause, basically like to help out the homeless kids, you know, who might be victims of trafficking, like help them out in Medellin here specifically. And I think like they raised a good amount of money. I think like close to 20,000 or something in that 1 hour talk. And there was like literally a billionaire there, a bunch of like relatively influential people. It was like a small mansion mastermind with like 50 to 100 people, something like that. So like I've been here 5 days and I already went to like a very high level event. Okay. And my last point is very important to mention. Again, if you look up anything about Medellin, you'll hear about the women. You'll hear about the women, that they're beautiful, that they're amazing, and you'll hear that you can get drugged and robbed and that they could be liars and stuff like that. So, you know, like, by the way, you know, this is not just my opinion. I met so many people who've been living here for like a year plus. You know, I'm living with a guy who's been here for 4 months. So about dating, I've watched some videos of like some guys talking about dating and like trying to find a wife or whatever. And they like try to like outsource the scrolling on Tinder with like VAs and stuff like that. Like, cool, man, that's pretty cool. But like if you're looking for like very high level, very feminine, very traditional woman for like marriage, there's plenty of those, but like they won't hang around on Tinder. Okay, like they just won't. Like if you're looking for a very high classy woman, they just won't use the dating apps. Okay, so like the way you meet them is you do go to these charity events with a bunch of entrepreneurs. You do go to events with like higher class people, and you get introduced to those kind of women. Okay, I mean you can do probably cold approach here, you know, and it does work. You just like never know who you're running into, I guess. But if you go to like a high class gym, which, you know, costs somewhat a good amount of money compared, you know, here, you'll probably gonna run into higher level people. Like you can meet a lot of very well educated, you know, women here, very traditional, very like feminine, and like everyone talks about it. Everyone, like anyone I meet, I can meet an entrepreneur who's doing like 8 figures a year, and they'll still ask me like, what do you think about the women here? What do you think about like the way they talk? Because they have this specific Paisa accent, which is like very, very cute. You know, it, like maybe doesn't sound very cute on guys, in my opinion, but when girls speak like Paisa accent, that's like absolutely incredible and beautiful. So if you're into that, you know, and I'm not saying you should, you know, you can do whatever you want, but like you don't necessarily need to come here for that. I know some people who do. Like you can just come here for work, and you know, if you want to meet your potential future wife, it's possible here, definitely possible. And that's pretty much, you know, why high level entrepreneurs come to Colombia, Medellin. One thing also to mention is like your life here will be 10 times better if you just know some like very, very basic Spanish. If you don't speak any Spanish, just like before you come here, just hire like a tutor online for like whatever, 10, 12, $15 per hour, and do like, if you plan to come here in like a month or in 2 weeks, just study really hard, like 5 times a week, just go ham, learn the basics, and your experience here will be like 100 times better, okay? Because people here, they might not speak the best English, let's say, and it's totally fine. They shouldn't. Like, why would they, right? They have their own culture, they have their own language. They're not obligated to learn English to just communicate with you. So if you're coming to a different country, like, you know, Spanish is a huge language, 650 million Spanish speakers. So like, it's worth learning, okay? And my experience has been really good, especially like I can speak some good Spanish. I wouldn't say I'm very fluent, but I can pretty much understand anything. So my experience has been really good here because, for example, my friend is learning now, but he hasn't really started studying, and he spent like 4 months here without studying any Spanish. And he's been like, you know, struggling to like just have the full experience. So that's what I think. That's why people come here. Maybe I missed some stuff, but hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. You know, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram @ownerarnas, and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.